welcome to What Do You Think of This? We are revisiting the best things from our past to let you know whether they're the best things for your future. I'm Jeff Abiad, and with me is Josue Escobar.
What's up, man?
Hey, Josue.
Happy podcast day.
Happy podcast day. How have you been enjoying the week since our last outing? Mrs. Doubtfire was a fun one.
Oh, man, that was a lot of fun. Yeah. The kids loved it. Keep talking about it. Keep talking about the voices. Ezra's trying to practice his voices.
Has he been?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really funny. Yeah, I got to get my kids doing that. They haven't done that so much yet. This week, I feel like I'm dragging a little bit, so I'm juicing. I don't know what brought this on other than I've been eating a lot of junk lately.
Juice power.
And I thought, okay, because you've done it before. I've heard about it. And so I just bought a preset package of like frozen juices. I don't have to do any work. I just have to thaw them. I thought, it's fine. 5 days.
What do they consist of? What's in the ingredients?
All kinds of things. There's 6 juices for every day. So I don't want to get too into the weeds, but they've got apple and ginger and beets and, celery and orange and everyone's a little bit different mixture.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
So it's a nice change up.
The ones with the beets always go right through me. They clean you out.
I'm glad you shared that. I haven't had that yet.
Oh, yeah.
I think maybe just because I haven't been eating.
They're a great laxative.
I think, coming into this, no problem. 3 days, 5 days, it's not a problem. I'll just get through it. It'll be the weekend. That's why I let you know we're just going to do it. I'm going to do it because we were going to do our test kitchen.
Yeah.
We pushed it a week.
Yep.
And man,
which is all good.
I knew I would feel this way. Day 2 into day 3. I'm like, I would really like a cup of coffee or...
Day 3 is the hardest. Day 4 might be the hardest too. But no, day 3 is definitely the hardest.
Good, because today's day 4. So hopefully you're getting a little better version of me than yesterday. I was dragging yesterday.
Oh, yeah, that's how it is. I mean, but all like your body's just like, where's all this, the garbage you always put in?
Yeah.
And then later, it's like, okay, well, we'll just do with what we've already got in your system. And you start to burn those things and you feel better. Yeah.
And you're like fighting with yourself internally because then it's like, do I just stop at day 3? 3 is enough. Like, that was good, right? Well, I have all the juices.
After day 5, day 6, 7, and 8 are super easy.
Oh, I'm done at 5. Was that a joke? Have you done it that long?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Always done like 2-3 weeks before.
What?
Yeah.
No way. I don't know that I have that kind of resolve.
It's really easy because you get to this point where you're just like, I'm hungry. And then you get a juice and you chug it and you're like, oh, I can't even finish this. I'm full.
Yeah.
And you have energy.
It is like that. Yeah.
Well, if you have a little extra weight on you, a little extra padding, your body has more stuff to burn.
The problem is everybody else in my house is eating.
Yeah, that's tough.
And mocking me about it. Like, oh, Dad, you wish you could have this, don't you?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm fine. I have discipline.
But look at this piece of bread.
Yeah, that's the worst. We were at a football game. Lucy's in marching band now, and that was great.
Oh, the hot dogs?
Well, I wasn't even tempted, by that. It was fine. But yeah, a burger, something I would love to eat.
Yeah.
But Justice is sitting next to me.
Popcorn.
And I've got a little mini cooler of my juices for the game because it's going to be a couple hours.
Yeah.
And he came with, a hot dog or something and popcorn and a Sprite.
No.
And he's like, Dad, you could drink this. This is like juice. And I'm like, buddy, it's not. Turn it around. Look at the ingredients. Look at the ingredients of mine. It's literally 4 things. It's just the vegetables and the juice. And he's like, okay, carbonated, whatever, water, high fructose corn syrup, and then all the chemicals or whatever it is.
Sodium,
He's like, Dad, it says all natural flavors. I'm like, buddy, it's marketing. I can't explain it to you right now.
At least that's not as bad as like, I remember I saw a video of this guy who had like a dead deer in his truck that he had just hunted.
Uh-huh.
And he came to his neighborhood and the kids in the neighborhood were like, how dare you kill an animal? Like, he's like, I'm going to eat this animal. They're like, be like a regular person and go to the store and get your meat. He's like, wait, do you not know how we get our meat?
Those kids are just devastated now.
All natural flavors, the marketing they do a really good job of marketing things.
A really good job. Yeah, he was sold.
Yeah.
Like, I'll juice too.
I'll drink all the Sprite in the world.
He's young. They don't know. It's great to be a kid and not care.
I know. Or not matter to you as much too.
He was exercising with me 2 days ago. So I'll exercise in the morning and I'm doing like burpees or jumping jacks. Yeah. And he will last about 2 minutes, maybe. And then he's like, and you can see him slowing down. I'm like, I'm an old man. You can do this.
It's just boring to them at some point.
Yeah.
And their bodies they get just bored of it. Not tired. They're just like, all right, cool, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
I'm young and healthy. I don't need this. I have all
My
the energy in
body's
the
already
world.
doing the work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Their hearts are beating like a mile a minute.
Yeah.
Way more than ours. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of kids, I saw you drove in the family vehicle today.
Yeah. My baby's in the shop.
She okay?
She's hopefully she's gonna be okay. I bought the car in 2020. It's a used car. It was a rebuilt title. So it had been in a front end collision. The person who bought it fixed it and sold it. And I have, all the receipts, all the registration, all the stuff to make it, a workable title. Because, when it gets wrecked, it is a salvage title.
Mm-hmm.
You fix it, you can get a rebuilt title, and then it's legal to drive. Because of that, it's also super cheap. So this car, 2014, 30,000 miles, you're probably going to spend it. You're probably still going to find a car like that for $20,000.
Yeah.
So he sold it to me for just under $8,000.
Which seems like free.
Yeah, exactly.
Today?
Yeah.
What? $8,000?
Yeah.
Like, can I pay you more?
Fast forward however many years, 4 years, and it won't pass inspection because where they fixed the car, they welded some metal, and where the control arms of the shocks and stuff like that kind of connect to the car.
Yeah.
Look like they skimped a little bit on the weld job.
Yeah.
The inspector is like, hey, you got to get this done better. Looks like you need to put like a little bit more metal and a better weld, which I'm like, okay, doesn't seem like that crazy of a job, but it could be just a lot because you may have to take like the entire engine out to get into where the spot where you need to actually weld.
It's always like that.
So I'm like afraid that the labor is probably going to be way more than the actual like job.
Cars are so devastating. The first car that I had was given to me by somebody in our church who knew I was broke.
Yeah.
I was like I was in college, I think. And it was a very churchy context where they gave me this car and they're like, we're going to give it to you for free. Our only ask is that you don't sell it. You just give it to somebody else if you're done with it, which seems very noble until the car started having problems. And I had issues all the time. And the best feature for me was the sunroof. I loved it was just,
who doesn't
give me
love
whatever. I love a sunroof.
For sure.
Open it all the time. And it got stuck halfway open in monsoon season in Arizona. So every day, it's pouring rain. So I had to like cover it and tape it. And I had to go to a salvage yard and get a sunroof to put in it. But it was an older car at that time. So then it didn't open. And then it was just miserable. And I was stuck with this car. People were like, Jeff, just sell it. And I was like, I can't. I told him I wouldn't. I'm not going to do
promised.
it. Yeah,
I'm a man of my word.
Oh, it was so awful. It's like stuff like that comes up. And then you're just, this is it. This is my life now.
Yeah. So hopefully, $8,000, it's better. I couldn't afford a car like that regularly. So it was a good way to get something I really wanted, something I really love and don't regret getting. But it is a pain when some of these things come up.
It's a great car, but I hope it turns out okay.
And hopefully after this is done, I don't have anything else to worry about because other than that, the rest of the car is pristine.
Yeah.
Like really, really good. So right now I'm just driving the van. It's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's got all the amenities, Apple CarPlay. I don't have Apple CarPlay in my
that is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have to get too much into it, but I realized on my car now, it does Apple CarPlay, but it only works via Bluetooth.
Oh, okay.
So it has USB option. It won't let me use it, which seems convenient, except every time I make a phone call, for some reason with Apple CarPlay, if I'm not using the inbuilt stuff in the car, there's an extra, it's like I'm talking to somebody in a third world country.
Oh, there's a delay.
Oh, it's so annoying.
That's so annoying.
I can't with that. I'm like bringing my AirPods and putting one in my ear just for a phone call. Just because it's so...
Wait, so you there's no way to connect it wired to Apple CarPlay?
Nope.
That seems kind of dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. I'm really mad about it. I'm hoping that I'll go in one day to fix something and they're going to be like, oh, you could just switch this on. I should email the guy. He's really friendly.
So you have to use the inbuilt system?
It has its own system. So it's got its own navigator. We talked about this when that fire was on the road.
Oh, yeah.
So its own phone, whatever.
Yeah.
So I can switch to that and it's a little bit better, but it is the clunkiest
system.
I love everything about my car, but their media center station that they're trying to do, it's just not what it should be. It's awful.
That's a bummer. Like you get it, that's a nice car.
It's a great car.
It's a great car.
And most of the time I'm using CarPlay. Doesn't matter.
But like when it comes to like technology and electronics, you really can only trust Apple or,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, some Android people are going to be like, my Android CarPlay, whatever it's called, works. It's like, yeah, good. But you're not using the inbuilt system that your manufacturer made.
I know.
It's like car manufacturers don't know how to do that well. Maybe Teslas. I don't know.
I don't know either. I've not been in one. But I think also that they know other people are taking care of it. So maybe it's not a priority. They're worried about other things.
Yeah.
Because this is better than my older car. So, you know, it's at least a step up.
Yeah. I like not having to have all that stuff sometimes in the car because it's less distraction, less things to play with. I don't know. I want to upgrade the sound system in it, maybe the speakers and stuff, but I'm like, I don't need to get Apple CarPlay. It's fine. I got my phone's on the holder thing. I can do everything that's on it. It's
until
fine.
you have it. And then it's like, I don't have to take my key out of my pocket. I don't have to take my phone out of my pocket.
I don't have to do that either. I don't have to take my key out of my pocket.
But your phone.
But my phone, yeah.
Yeah,
it's okay. You live with what you got.
Yeah. Well, hey.
You don't miss what you don't have.
Technology has come a long way.
Yep.
Today we're traveling back in time, and I'm excited about this topic because we're hitting an album that you had not heard. Right.
How many years ago were some of this music? In the 50s, 60s, 70s?
Yeah. We were talking a long time. So we're gonna be talking about Frank Sinatra today. I'm really excited. After that, I have a little bit of a closing the loop segment that we'll come back to. But before, I have something special that I wanted to do just for this episode.
Awesome.
On the theme of Frank Sinatra, I thought we would do a little bit of a quiz. And it's going to be, what mafia boss are you?
Awesome.
It's at crimemuseum.org. It's actually, what famous mobster are you? So you might not be a boss. But if anybody wants to skip ahead on the podcast episode, there are bookmarks below. So if you want to just skip right to the album, you can do that.
Awesome.
But I don't think you're going to want to, because we're going to find out.
This is going to be good.
What mobster Josue is. All right. Full disclosure here. I tested this out on my family, and 5 of the 6 of us got the same mobster.
5 of the 6 of you.
By the end of it, we started trying to get somebody different. And only person who was successful, I think, was Justice at the end. And I don't know why, because I don't know. I don't know what answer it depends on. So we'll see how you do. So let's go ahead and start here. If you could be an animal, what animal would you be? You can be either, every one of these has 4 options: a cat, a snake, a bug, or a bird.
A bird.
Okay. And this is my answer too, but why would you say a bird?
Because you can fly. You're free.
Yeah.
You know, it's preferably an eagle.
Eagle would be better. When I think birds, I think a little bird that maybe could be taken out by a predator, but you're imagining yourself soaring.
Yes.
Yeah.
With talons.
With talons.
I want to be the raptor of the sky.
How long are your nails? Pretty short right now.
Yeah, they're really, I bite my nails sometimes.
Yeah, don't grow talons. What is your favorite food? And you only have 4 options here.
Oh, okay.
Challah.
Challah?
Yeah, like the bread.
Okay.
The challah bread, the big kind of big puffy, ornate, knotted.
Yeah, it looks like that. Yeah, it looks like it's like a big like rope that's been tied together. Yeah.
Making me hungry.
Almost like pretzels.
Yeah, grits. Have you ever had grits?
I have.
Oh, do you like them?
I do.
Yeah. I don't know that I would say a favorite.
Like, have you had them?
I've had them, not good ones.
With sugar or salt?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Not neither. I just took them.
I think there's like a difference between like the South and the North, like if they eat their grits with sugar or salt.
I did not have sugary grits.
I think I've always done salty grits.
Yeah.
Is that a North thing, I think?
I have no idea, but I'm getting so hungry. Something fancy or gourmet or spaghetti. So you got challah grits, something fancy or spaghetti.
Something fancy?
Yeah.
Something fancy might not be filling.
Fancy or gourmet.
Fancy or gourmet.
You're right. It might not be filling.
Or spaghetti.
Man,
I'm going to say spaghetti.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
It is a classic. What is your drink of choice? You only have 4 options.
What
here.
4?
Moonshine, Templeton Rye, wine, or Coca-Cola. I have to say, most of my family picked Coca-Cola until we were trying to deviate. The kids are like, Dad, can I pick anything besides Coca-Cola?
Templeton Rye?
Templeton Rye.
Rye.
It's just a type of
rye
rye whiskey.
Yeah, I'll say whiskey then.
Okay.
I'll say the rye.
Templeton Rye it is. What is your favorite color out of these 4? Green, blue, brown, or red?
Blue.
Blue, a classic. Have you always liked blue?
Kind of. I mean, my favorite color is black.
Is that a color?
Yeah, it's all the colors.
It's all the colors. Yeah. Okay.
But like red, I don't know, blue. Blue. I would say blue.
I
For
love
sure, blue.
I've always loved blue. I went on a journey for a while.
Like
where,
a dark blue.
Oh, really?
Like a navy blue.
I like a lighter blue. Like that side over there.
Like a sky blue?
Yeah. Okay, where would you most like to travel out of these 4 options?
The Bahamas.
Sorry, not included. Tennessee.
Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah, you can get your rye there. Chicago, California, or Sicily.
Oh, man. I think, oh, man. I've been to Tennessee, so is that like one of those, like, you really want to go there? Is that really?
I mean, I always like Nashville.
Yeah, me too.
I haven't been to really anywhere else in Tennessee.
Yeah. And the last one was Italy.
Sicily,
which is Italy, right?
I don't know. I feel like we'll offend a lot of people.
Rome. Spaniard.
Sicily feels a little bit better. Even,
Oh my gosh. I want to say that, but I think I'm just going to be Al Capone after that.
Don't worry about it. Just go with your gut.
All right, fine. I'll say Sicily.
Okay. Sicily it is. If you had to go into hiding, where would you go? Would you go out of the country? Would you say, I don't hide? In an abandoned building somewhere? Or in your giant mansion and you'd pay off anyone who found you?
Like Scarface?
So out of the country, I don't hide, abandoned building, giant.
I don't hide. Does that mean like I'm not afraid?
Come at me.
Come at me. Oof. Man. Let's do come at me.
All right, I don't hide.
I don't hide.
I'm not afraid. If you had a difficult task to do.
I'm not afraid.
I don't know the song.
Eminem.
Nope. Yep. If you had a difficult task to do, how would you prefer to deal with it? I would tell other people what to do about it, and they would do it. I would work with a partner. Yeah. I would work with a partner to get it done. I would run away and hope my problem didn't follow me. I would do what my boss said.
I think the first one.
Okay. Tell other people. They'll take care of it.
Yep.
What is your best quality? Don't be modest. My looks, my personality, my significant other, my intelligence. Oof. I feel like you could pick any one of these things, Josue.
I know, really. My looks? No.
Yeah.
I'm a looker. No, man, I'd say my personality.
All right, let's go for it. All right, calculating. Ooh, we've got, let me tell you, first of all, you got a different mobster than all of my family. So the 2 that we got.
It is a different day.
It's true. You got Bugsy Siegel.
Bugsy Siegel.
You want to know a little bit about Bugsy?
Heck yeah.
A volatile gangster working for Lucky Luciano. He was infamous for his extravagant lifestyle.
Ooh.
His girlfriend, Virginia Hill, was an actress, but shared his criminal... I can't read today. She shared his criminal tendencies and worked as a money runner on the side. Bad news, Bugsy was murdered in 1947 when someone shot him multiple times and he was sitting in his living room.
Hey, there goes the non-hiding.
Yeah, that's it. You're out in the open. To be fair, this may be the one that Justice got because I seem to remember his girlfriend, Virginia Hill.
Yeah. Maybe she had multiple gangster boyfriends.
Honestly, it could definitely be possible. I don't know. I am not a gangster, nor have I met a gangster. But I can say I appreciate Frank Sinatra, who maybe knew some gangsters.
Frank Sinatra made music that was calm, sometimes upbeat, and it could also be soothing jazz. My dad likes it a lot.
Did you know he had a nickname Scarface?
Did he?
Yeah.
I knew he had a scar. But
Yeah.
I thought he was big blue eyes.
And yeah, that too. And I think in high school or something they called him Scarface.
Had you ever heard any Frank Sinatra before this?
Well, obviously only on like TV or older TV shows.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of references to Frank Sinatra in like The Sopranos. I never watched The Sopranos, but other than clips, but there are many references to Sinatra.
Oh, totally.
Is it Goodfellas? There's references to Frank Sinatra, and I think he's in a few movies.
Oh,
Frank Sinatra's
yeah.
in a bunch of movies. So.
Older ones.
Older ones, yeah.
Yeah. So this album that we're digging into today is called Classic Sinatra, and it's his greatest performances from 1953 to 1960, which is specifically the time that he was at Capitol Records. The reason I pulled out this album as a nostalgic album is because I owned this one. They released it in like 2000 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I had this one. I knew Frank Sinatra because, same as you, culture, but also some of my relatives, like I had an aunt and uncle we used to visit, and they would play music like this just on the radio.
Yeah.
So some of these songs would come up a lot. Obviously, some of the songs he sings on this album are from musicals, so I knew those.
Yeah, I was wondering if you had like your family, your mom or your dad, or someone listen to this, because I mean, this is like in their generation, right?
Yeah, this would have been a generation basically above my mom. So my mom would be familiar with all of them, but not quite her.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. So it was my great aunt and uncle who I would go to their house and I would hear music like this. Cool. Which probably puts me in a mood anyway. Yeah. And so for my kids, Lucy's comment was, "This makes me think of Christmas."
I thought the same thing too.
And she said, "It also makes me happy and sad." But not sad, like happy sad. I'm like, oh, so, you know, I couldn't think of a word for that, like wistful or sentimental.
Yeah. Like inward looking.
Yeah. So a little bit about, you know, Frank Sinatra. Like you said earlier, he's born December 12th, 1915.
Yeah. Can you imagine that time period? Jeez.
Yeah, it was a different time.
Different time.
He would have experienced, you know, world wars and the Depression and all of this stuff. Okay.
The way he talked about women.
Yeah, we'll get into that. He was from Jersey. He's a Jersey boy.
I was surprised about that because I was listening to this and there's a song in there that references California.
Yeah.
I'm like, was he from California? Not from New York? Or was he like, because in my mind, I always thought of him as New York.
Yeah.
That whole thing, like the King of New York, all that kind of stuff, and the mafia stuff or whatever. But that song came up and I'm like, maybe he's like a transplant, right? Like he started in Cali, but then he came to New York and became famous here. Like, you know, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere kind of thing.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
So
New York.
I think because of his career booming like it did and when he went into the recording industry, and we're not going to go too much into it because his biography online is crazy.
It is amazing.
He's Frank Sinatra, but he got famous really from the start and then had a bit of a slump. So he was at, I think, Columbia Records or something like that. And then he hit a real low point and, you know, nobody liked him. He was kind of falling out of favor. And then when he went to Capitol Records, when he started doing these kind of recordings and kind of coming into his own and doing his own solo act. And that's where he really started booming. And he kind of linked up with this, writer who he worked with a lot on this album. So he was influenced obviously a lot by Bing Crosby, which I feel like has those Christmas vibes too.
Yeah. And that Christmas guitar, like, you know?
Yep.
Pretty good. That was pretty good.
That was great. That's the quote I found online that I thought was a good summary of him. One of the most popular entertainers of the mid-20th century, Sinatra is among the world's best-selling musical artists with an estimated 150 million records sold globally.
Wow.
Which is insane. But I bought this album around the time of its release in 2000. And I just kind of known him.
Yeah.
But I think, quick summary of the album for you, you know, how did it, because this is just easy listening for me.
It was very easy. I started listening to this as we were like taking a walk with the family, just a stroll.
You just have your phone playing on speaker?
Yeah. It was pretty good. And it didn't grab anybody's attention right away. But the comments were like, this is pretty cool for a walk.
Yeah.
You know, like the vibe.
Yep.
And Elizabeth's like, I know this. Who is this? I'm like, this is Frank Sinatra. She's like, this is interesting for a walk. I'm like, yeah, I like it. And at one point, forget what song was playing, but at one point we're at the park because the kids just want to stop at this park. We take the same little like loop around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And we end up at a little park behind some houses. And the kids just stop and they play for a little bit. And we just sit on a bench or just whatever. We broke out in a little dance with me and my wife.
When somebody loves you. Oh, that's sweet.
It was like, oh. So like, there's like, I don't know if I can wrap it up in whatever. But what she said about, what was it Lucy that said? Yeah. Lucy said about like, oh, it makes me sad or whatever. It makes you like look inward, like think about stuff. Like, what is one of the lines? Like, my story's not a great one or whatever.
Be told.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally cold.
And it's like,
that's song number 1 on this album. Yeah.
oh, is it number 1? Really? I
Yeah.
thought it was second or third. Anyway, I think that's a good like romantic.
No, you are right. It is the second song. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get a kick out of you.
I get it, yeah. And so it's like good, romantic, joyful, thoughtful, not sad, but just like think about your life.
Yeah.
kind of thing. And a lot of it after a while, like I don't know how much you guys like repeated the music.
I just had it on for the last, I don't know how many days.
Yeah.
So, and I've listened to this album a lot. So I would just pick up where I left off and let it go again and again.
I found myself quickly kind of getting tired of the wind instruments, like the saxophones and just that portion after a while because it sounds great. Like if you listen to this for the first time, you're not expecting it, or if it's in a mix somewhere, like you got whatever.
Yeah.
The
oh yeah.
it's like, oh shoot. And it's so powerful. So it's so in your face. But after a while, like some of the songs, and I didn't have this on like random. So it was like
straight through.
I think in random mode would be a little bit better, maybe. I don't know, because not better, but different, because I felt like I knew where everything was going to happen. And it was too predictable at some point because it was like this, and it almost blended together. Like,
oh, that's interesting.
What song was that? Oh yeah, that's a different one than that one. But yeah, I think if it was mixed, I don't know if that would be worse or not in that sense of like it kind of blending together.
Yeah, because these songs are a compilation of 7 or 8 years of music and put together on this album.
Yeah.
It's not even necessarily designed this way. Somebody designed it in this order for this album.
Yeah.
But not how they were originally released.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking when I was listening to this, especially yesterday, it's like, this is great Sunday afternoon vibes, like nap time.
I mean, the weather's perfect for it.
Yeah, I'm just going to
I don't know if that matters, but it really is.
Chill, lazy, enjoy. I can imagine going around the house cooking, or like you said, just being outside, going for a walk.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Especially when the birds are chirping and you got Frank Sinatra on at the same time.
I got the world on the string.
And that's the first song, and that's one of those like, I don't know if that's my favorite song or if it's just because it's the first song and they knew that was like maybe the best.
They
song.
hit you,
I don't know, but
like right from the start with that. But the thing that I like about this, and I don't know if it's all of his music, I'm guessing a lot of it, is it really moves out a clip. Like you get a little taste of this song and we're on to the next one. And then
they're like 3 minutes, no more than 3 minutes long.
No, there's one that's over 4 and then the rest of them are 2:50, 3:10. But it's like all
super
around there.
quick.
I
felt like I listened to the first 10 songs in like, I don't know, 3 minutes.
Quick.
Really, it was really, really fast.
You go through it fast. To me, this felt like a box of chocolates.
You never know what you're going to get.
Like
a box of chocolates.
I just felt like every little song had its own, like, these are all in the same genre. These all feel like Frank Sinatra. But then you go, oh, this song has,
There's something different about there's something a little bit different about every single one. And I think it's like some of his phrasing with the music, the space, because, you've got that echoing part that instruments can do with your melody or your vocals.
Yeah.
Right. There's some of those things that happen, but don't necessarily need his voice to be there.
Sure.
It's almost like he's on top, just playing around with the portions of the music. It's crazy.
This is what Frank Sinatra does so well, is just, and I guess, I mean, I'm not sure about his era before this, but once he hit this space and he was working with, I wrote his name down. Let me see if I can find Nelson Riddle, who was the arranger and the conductor of all this, and who's the guy that arranged all of his stuff for Capitol Records and was also Nat King Cole's music director. The quote that I found about this, Sinatra found Riddle the greatest arranger in the world, is what he said about him. And Riddle considered Sinatra a perfectionist and has said not only that his intuitions as tempo and phrasing, even configuration, are amazingly right, but his taste is so impeccable, there's still no one who can approach him. And I think what Sinatra really did, it was like you just have an intuition to just sit in this place and to do things like not just be on, and your pitch is great and your tone is great, but then to just be able to hang behind a phrase. And people will do that, but he will really lazy back on something. And then somehow he's still on the tempo. And I don't know how much the orchestra is listening to him and working with him. But
or like just nervous of like, like,
can you imagine?
He's back on. Okay.
You're like first trumpet or Frank Sinatra walks into the room and you're like, I got to follow him.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, the drummer though, I think was one of those solid on all the tracks. I'm like, how are you keeping up? And just, I mean, it doesn't seem like it's super energetic, some stuff, but you got to be on it.
Yeah.
I'm like the entire time.
Yep.
And you're not adding a bunch of fills or like taking a break. Sometimes that's all you need to be doing.
Yep.
And it doesn't seem like when you step back to listen to the whole thing, you're like, oh, it doesn't seem mundane.
Nope.
But if you were the drummer, you're concentrating on that beat. You're not getting off of that. Oh man, it's so like those guys, that's even harder to do, to stay in the pocket and stay on that rhythm the entire time without deviating, because adding a fill is sometimes like giving yourself a little bit of a break.
Sure.
And then having to come back on the one. But these dudes.
I know. Just in that pocket.
Good.
His trumpet player, the name of the guy is Billy May, who was a kind of a famous American composer and arranger who had done a bunch of movie music. He composed music for The Green Hornet, The Mod Squad, Batman, and Naked City, which I've never seen.
Which Batman?
I'm not sure, but I would guess probably the original TV series.
Oh, yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, maybe not even that. Oh, you mean the original with
Adam West?
Adam West.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you can kind of hear it. Yeah, trumpet in that.
Yeah.
And a bunch of films and stuff. And then also Ben Miller on the piano. And when those piano highlights would come out, and you would go, oh, wow. Like these people are so talented.
Super
but like
talented.
You said, like in the pocket. There's not a lot of flashy stuff.
It kind of reminds me.
It needs to be.
Yeah. What that guy describing Frank Sinatra kind of sounds like how some people, producers and musicians that have worked with Michael Jackson describe Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Super particular, really kind of like perfect pitch. They know the intricacies of all that kind of stuff. Like
sure.
Really particular on the sound. Like, no, I don't like that sound. And they finally find it. And you're like, oh, and that's the sound that like makes the song.
Do you think, your perception of Frank Sinatra versus somebody like Michael Jackson, because when I think about Michael Jackson, I think about, like you're saying, perfectionist, especially we watched that documentary, really into, fine tuning this.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't know if he's this way, Frank Sinatra, but he carries himself like he's just, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, not that he's
like
laissez-faire.
Suave, debonair type of thing.
He's just, I'm going to ease in here and I'm just going to romance you into making this amazing.
But that's our perspective after the work is done.
Sure.
I bet you in studio writing the music, he's probably like, come on, guys.
Most of these songs are covers. They're all they're all written by other people. And I wrote down notes on all of them. We don't have to get into all of it, but I'm just curious. Maybe we just hit our favorites first.
Man.
And talk about those. What was your standout track?
Man, it was a toss-up for me. I want to say the first one was my favorite, but that's too easy, I felt like.
I don't know.
They set me up. They set me up with that song being right at the very top. But
I have it as my ringtone. It's not active right now, but for the longest time, and it might still be my ringtone for Amanda because it's like, I love this song so much.
The other one that I like, the first one's kind of an easy one, right?
And that's I've Got the World on a String.
Yeah, I've Got the World. My Funny Valentine, I think, is if I can't pick the first one, My Funny Valentine is a good one.
That's a really good one. Had you ever heard that song before?
Mm-mm.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm.
I first heard that song in high school. I was part of an ensemble and I got selected for some showcase we were singing to sing a duet with a girl in my class who was a friend of mine and sing that song. And I had never heard it. And not knowing it, the melody takes some really interesting, it's not just run-of-the-mill melody.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. Yeah. What did you like about it?
Just I liked his lyrics a lot in this. To me, it was a little bit different.
Yep.
And like the words and stuff were kind of funny. This is the one where he says something about like her, like the way she holds a knife.
Yeah. Oh no, that's a different song.
That's a different song? Which one is that one?
You Can't Take That Away From Me?
Are you sure?
Oh, I don't remember the holding a knife line in My Funny Valentine.
Or maybe I'm wrong then. Which one's that one?
Okay, the way you wear your hat, the way you sip your tea. Okay, yeah. That's You Can't Take That Away From Me.
Oh, okay, so then that one's the one that I would pick as my second favorite, just because like the lyrics, the playful lyrics on that one, I'm like, oh, dude, this is pretty good.
Yeah, and that one also has a lot of great melody choices too. That was written by the Gershwin brothers and is, I think, like a musical number. The reason I know that actually is from Mr. Holland's Opus, because they sing that. They do a big Gershwin review or something like that,
Yeah.
and they sing that. No, they can't take that away from me. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really good. Just like, what does that mean? She holding her knife to like, wound you, cut your heart. Like, is she holding a knife to? It's just like the way it made me feel, like the thinking stuff like that too.
I
I
thought it was all the quirkiness of what makes her her. You know? Like just all these silly things, or the way you sing off key.
Yep.
It's like,
that reminded me a little bit of my wife a little bit.
Yeah, your best trait.
Yeah, my best trait.
Yeah, that one is really great. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, like it felt really earnest.
Yep.
About the person he's singing about. So I really like that. What was the one that I think is a Disney song? Is there one that I should have looked it up, but I thought maybe it might have been a Disney song.
Oh man, I don't know. I'm looking at the track list here, trying to decide which one feels Disney to me.
Young at Heart. Is it Young at Heart?
The fairy tales will come true.
Isn't that like a Cinderella song?
It could happen to you if you're young at heart. With the strings,
I've heard that one 100 times, so I think. That's the song I think I've heard on a Disney movie somewhere or something.
The strings feel very old school Disney.
Like Cinderella.
Because after it hits a young at heart, it goes, it's like really plucky.
Exactly. It's like, it reminded me of the Cinderella song. Something about a dream.
Yeah.
A
dream is a wish your heart makes.
No. Like, I've seen you in a dream before. Oh. Cinderella.
Once Upon a Dream?
Yeah, Once Upon a Dream.
Is that not the same song? Once Upon a Dream. Oh, man.
Like, I've danced with you before. Once Upon a Dream. I think that song reminded me of that Cinderella music.
Yep. It does feel a lot like that. I wrote a lot about this one because I liked that song a lot.
Yeah.
But I liked the fun lyrical rhyming. But if you should survive to 105, think of all you'll derive just from being alive.
Doesn't that remind you of like a Disney princess song?
Yeah, and he even says fairy tales, at the beginning.
Fairy tales can come true. It could happen to you.
Yeah. My other favorite line on that one was, for it's hard you will find to be narrow of mind if you're young at heart. I was like, oh, that's just really great lyrics on this.
Who wrote that?
It was written and published in 1953. It is written by Carolyn Lee and Johnny Richards. But I don't know. It looks like it was for...
I could hear it as a duet.
He was the first performer to record the song, but it became a million-selling hit in late 1953. It was such a hit that a movie Sinatra was filming at the time with Doris Day was renamed to match this song title.
Wow.
Because the song was so great and it was in the opening credits and stuff.
That's cool.
But guess who else recorded this? I mean, you could basically guess anybody. I just grabbed a few. Bing Crosby, Rosemary Clooney, Perry Como, Tony Bennett, Tom Waits.
Tony Bennett. That's why I've heard it so many times.
Barry Manilow, Bob Dylan, Gloria Estefan,
wow,
Michael Bublé, Willie Nelson, and...
of course, Michael Bublé.
Donald Duck.
Donald Duck. Dreams can come true.
That's a really great one. I like that one a lot.
The Donald Duck one?
No, just the song. Although I think I would probably appreciate that. That was one of my standout tracks too. The surprise standouts for me that I know all these songs, but I really like Witchcraft, which feels like I
that
should
was the
like
other
that.
one. That's the other one that we heard on the walk. That was like,
It's
that's a standout. That would
such
surprise
great
me.
lyrics in that song. Wicked witchcraft, and the whole song. He's calling the woman a witch.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is like,
I'm like, so that was my standout, like, surprised one, because I'm like, did he mean to say witch?
Yeah.
Or was he too PC or too like censored to say the word he wanted to say?
I'm wondering, was that word even in the culture at the time? I don't know.
When did witchy woman come out? Ooh, witchy woman. Maybe it wasn't.
Fingers in my hair. That whole thing.
Yep.
That sly, come hither stare. This song.
It's very, So a lot of his music is either, it's about a girl.
Yeah.
It's very romantic. I don't know what the culture was around, like, the people who listen to, Sinatra, but was this all he's known for? Because a lot of the music is definitely like imagery.
Sensual in that way.
Mm-hmm.
It very much, and because it was so ubiquitous in culture, it almost surprises you when you go back and you go, what's he saying?
Yeah, because as a little kid listening to it in your great aunt's,
my aunt's house, yeah. Didn't think
over
about
your head, right? Yeah.
When you arouse the need in me,
exactly. Yeah.
My heart says yes, indeed, in me. Proceed to what you're leading me to. Well, it's witchcraft.
It's funny. Elizabeth give me the eye like, what's he say? I'm like, yep. I'm like, that's what you do to me.
That's it. And right after that song actually is The Lady is a Tramp.
Oh, that's right.
And I'm like, why do I like this song so much?
Well, because like the music, the rhythm really draws you in.
Yeah.
And it's all the same vibe of like just.
That's why the lady is a tramp. And then the music. The standout lyrics for me, the wordplay in this song was great. She's broke and it's oak. Hates. But he says, on iTunes, it says hates. So it's okay. He blends with the word hates. Hates California.
Oh,
it's cold and it's damp.
That's so cool.
Just really well done.
Just playing with the words. Yeah.
But the song before we were talking about witchcraft I saw it was featured in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which I don't remember.
Oh, really? I saw that on the IMDb, on his IMDb, that he was in that.
That's probably why.
That's probably why.
And this song was also sung by Salem the Cat in Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Well, it is witchcraft.
Which I could imagine, yeah. Apparently it was in Hocus Pocus too.
That's hilarious.
Any other surprises for you on this album?
No, I think that was the biggest one. Witchcraft, yeah.
The other surprise for me...
Well, Tramp, too. Those two were the biggest surprises because he's like, oh man, he's being like... I mean, the references to the ladies like this is like, whoa.
Yeah, what are you saying?
Yeah.
And they're all still like, Frank, we love you.
Yeah. Did you know that when he first got started, they actually paid women to cheer for him?
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then it just caught on. He didn't have to do that anymore.
Well, it worked.
It worked.
That's calling him a tramp.
I know. Usually, so it made me think of Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah.
And it was like, isn't the tramp always the dude?
Yeah, that's true. Actually, that's true. My kids were asking me because Justice was asking me in the car the other day. He's like, what's a tramp? And I'm like, well.
But in Lady and the Tramp, it's not a derogatory term.
I think it's just somebody you can't nail down.
I think that's what it is too. So he's saying
there's
like
no commitment. Yeah. She's kind of all over.
So he's being fair and equal there.
Yeah. Yeah, let's call it that.
A lady can be a tramp as well.
That's right. Yeah, ladies or men, it doesn't matter.
She's free-spirited, you know?
She'll have no crap games with Sharpies and frauds.
Nope.
She won't go to Harlem in Lincolns or Fords.
Yep. She's a classy, free-spirited, promiscuous lady.
I can tell you she won't dish dirt with the rest of the broads.
Nope. Broads, that's the other thing
That's
too.
why the lady's a tramp.
Yeah. You don't hear that word a lot in music anymore. Let's bring it back.
She loved the free, fresh wind in her hair. Life with,
he's got a really good way with words and painting a picture.
Yeah, and honestly, because these songs are not even his, for him to just take it and own it in the way that he does. And I know other people do that, Bing Crosby or whomever, but he has just a very specific way.
I think it was the voice too.
Yeah.
I mean, iconic.
Yeah.
The only person that I guess, emulates him is Michael Bublé, right?
Yeah, he kind of sits in that line. And also, what's his name who plays the mouse on Sing? Seth MacFarlane.
Oh, yeah.
Because my kids immediately, when they hear it, they go, oh, it's a mouse from Sing.
Well, yeah.
I go, no, different guy.
Different dude, yeah. But it's iconic.
The other one that surprised me that I like, and especially every time I listen to it, I end up liking it more, is called One for My Baby and One More for the Road.
Oh,
and he's singing like he's at a bar. It's 2:45.
Yeah.
There's no one in the place. You and me. And it goes in the hole with the saxophone.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Just really, really nice. I love the feel of the song, the great piano. Not just because it sounds a little like Cruella de Vil, the kind of plucky piano, and then the strings that come in and that saxophone. And the chords on the piano are just so nice. And this
musically, it's just like another level.
The most sultry, lazy vocals.
Mm-hmm.
One for my baby and one more. He's just for the road. He's just really sitting back.
He lingers. He uses his those notes so effortlessly.
The long. The band's already done.
Yeah.
And he's still long.
They're like,
keep it going, guys.
When do we come back in?
Oh, that one was so great. I really liked it a lot. Okay, so here's what I thought. When I was originally summing this up as a box of chocolate,
mm-hmm.
I went back through every track today when I was shuffling it, and I thought, here's the chocolate that reminds me of. So I'm just going to give you the highlights because we don't have time to talk through this. But honestly, there are so many songs on this I love.
It's funny because if you would have told me this 10 years ago to listen to this, I don't know if I would have paid that much attention. Or as a kid, right? I wouldn't have paid attention to any of the lyrics. But you listen to the lyrics and they do paint a picture in your head. They are very thoughtful.
Mm-hmm.
One of the ones that tripped me up was, I've got the world on a string, right?
Yep.
He says, I want to pluck the moon or play with the moon like a balloon.
Yeah.
I'm like,
bounce the moon like a toy balloon.
Like a toy balloon. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Okay. I see what you mean. We as guys, we want to promise the world to our ladies, right?
Uh-huh.
Like I want to pull the moon down and give it to you. He's like, he just wants to play. You make me want to play with it.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, that's pretty cool. I hadn't listened to any of it before. I mean, only just in passing in movies and soundtracks or whatever, or references. But I'm like, man, I felt a little like music should come back a little bit back to that.
Doesn't it?
thing.
It just feels, I don't know. And it's not even
Just a
wholesome.
little bit.
I was going to say wholesome. It's not wholesome.
It's not wholesome, but it really definitely sounds like it should, like it is.
It
like
hits
it
you
should
in
be.
a very specific spot. And every once in a while, I'll get in a Frank Sinatra kick and I'll just roll it. Like that's all I'll listen to. And it just puts you in a mood. And it's like, I like that space.
Yeah. Except for the one song that definitely reminded me of Christmas because of the guitar.
Oh, because it's in, I was going to say the one that's in Elf.
That's probably what it is. Yeah. But it's got that classic, you know what I mean? That kind of vibe.
Yeah, it wasn't.
That one made me go, oh, please keep Christmas away for a little while
You make me
longer.
feel so young.
You make
me feel so young. Yeah, that one's in Elf when he's going out on the date with her. And he's like, you have the best cup of coffee. Congratulations. Or whatever. That's that song,
so
I think.
Dumb.
Yeah, that one definitely feels like that. And the other one, Come Fly With Me, reminds me of a Carnival Cruise Line commercial. Come fly with me.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, that's right. The Carnival Cruises or no. You said the what airline used that?
Oh, I guess it would be flying, wouldn't it?
Yeah. What? I don't know if it was American Airlines or whatever, but yeah.
Well, that's what it makes you think of vacation, though.
I think that's really cool about his music is it definitely puts you in a mood that's like kind of out of the ordinary. If you want to escape, this is a really good escape.
Yeah.
Like for me, like every time I go to the beach, I want to put some like reggae on in the background or something like that, you know? Some
red, white.
No, not red.
Sorry, that's the first thing that came to me. A cruise memory there.
You know? Well, it's just like that tropical vibe or whatever. You're like, oh, put you in that mood. Yeah. I think with this, it's romantic without having to be like that uber spicy romantic type of thing. And
it's wistful.
It's, yeah. You know, it's light. And then there's some like really good impactful moments in it just because the music. I mean, those horns, they hit you right in the face.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the right word, but juxtaposition with his vocals. Whoa. Yep. That's really cool. I think someone should bring some of that stuff back, honestly.
So let me know your take. If we're looking at this album as a box of chocolates, here's what I think. Track 1, I Got the World on a String. Your standard chocolate with chocolate filling. I like this. I want to eat it. I'm going for it. I'll eat it every time. this might be a controversial take for track 2 because I really couldn't nail it down. I Get a Kick Out of You, which we didn't. I get a kick out of.
Yeah, that's I think that was the one that was one of my favorites.
It was, but when he hits that line, mere alcohol doesn't thrill me at all. You know, it's like I need something more. It's like some get their kicks from cocaine.
And you're like, what? And it wouldn't be fantastic at all for me or whatever.
Yeah, even one fix, it would bore me terrifically too.
Yeah.
I read actually that in wherever they use that, I can't remember in what showcase or
he probably
musical,
did cocaine too.
They had to change the lyric. It was like TV broadcast or something.
Oh, yeah.
And so they had
I can see that.
They changed it to some like the perfume in Spain, which doesn't have the same ring to it.
No.
Anyway, so because of that, I call that one a dark chocolate nut caramel because I'm like, I enjoy this, but there's some substance here that's like, okay. Makes
Oh, dude, I love dark chocolate. And like, if it's like an almond or like a peanut, there you go. That's my favorite.
Okay, well, so here, let me know what you think. They can't take that away from me. No, they can't take. This is what you said?
Yep.
I think this is solid milk chocolate with caramel. This is, I want this. I enjoy this. I'm feeling it. Okay.
I like that.
And then we hit My Funny Valentine, which is, you said this earlier, but this is the one I was saying. I sang as a duet with a friend.
That's right.
It's like melancholy and lovely. And it's like a jazz standard. It's apparently appeared on over 1,300 albums performed by over 600 people.
Whoa.
So I call this one Dark Chocolate with Raspberry Filling.
Oh, dude, I was totally going to wait for you to bring up a cherry filling or something.
Yeah. It's got
a really smooth. Yeah, I see what you mean. Like you
almost
have
a dark feeling, but then like light.
It like smooths and just fills your entire palate.
Yeah. Okay, the next one.
Jazz is a big thing in this. That's all of the beats, the drums. Not exactly that, but that's the whole feel.
Yep.
It's a swagger.
Yeah.
It's definitely like a swagger feel.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
And I love it. Okay, Young at Heart, I'm going to say milk chocolate pecan delight. All those playful lyrics, all that kind of fun. Okay, I like this and I want something with some texture in it. And yeah.
Yeah, pecan's not my favorite, but I can see that.
All right. Yeah. We can, maybe some other kind of nut.
Maybe like a pistachio.
Okay.
That'd be good.
Be done with that. Okay.
You're hungry.
I am so hungry. Someone to Watch Over Me is another Gershwin classic. Someone to watch over me. You remember that one?
Yeah.
Starts with like the horn, I think, French horn. It's kind of sultry sounding strings. I think this one's a classic. I'm going to call it a strawberry creme. Because the E has a little...
Yeah.
I would have said strawberry cream. And I'm like, I typed this out and it corrected to a little
like
creme.
a creme fraiche.
Yes, strawberry creme. When we get to In the Wee Small Hours of the Morning and talk about wistful, in the wee small hours of he's all pining for this girl and he really misses her when it's really early in the morning. Yeah. I'm calling this one a chocolate covered cherry. It's very tasty, but you don't want too much of it, just a little bit and just really gets you in the feels.
Be careful where you go with the cherry analogies here.
Hey, listen. I've got you under my skin. I don't think we talked about this.
I don't think we did either, but that one is a good one too.
It's classic. It's catchy. It's by Cole Porter. It was written in 1936 and recorded by hundreds of different people.
Crazy.
I like that one. I like the idea of it because it's like under my skin. That's almost like an irritant. But you're saying, oh no, I can't get rid of you. I just like you so much.
It's
love you so much.
And that's a real thing, right? Like when you first like the butterflies in your stomach, you think about this person all the time. You're like, they're under your skin. Because if you do want to like stop talking about them, it's like an effort.
Yeah. And you get the
thinking about them.
Woodwind do. You know what I mean? I got you under my skin.
And it persists. And then that beat almost gets under your skin. And
then later though, the horns, they open up.
I love I've always seen it and heard it. The mutes.
Yeah.
And on this album, you can hear like the variety of mutes on horns. It's really interesting.
And the dynamic shifts to go from really big to just a boom. got you with the bass under my skin, you know?
It just makes you want to, like, some of these songs made me want to go to like a cafe, like a really smoky cafe with really dim lit.
No
light.
smoke, thank you, but I would definitely like that vibe.
But that vibe,
I'm always looking
with
for
like
that.
a martini.
Yeah, just sit and
like,
chill and listen to, you know, just enjoy the night.
So what have you gotten yourself into lately? I don't know what you call it.
It's 2:45. Get home. I call that one a milk chocolate toffee. I like that one.
The milk chocolate toffee.
Okay.
So
You Make Me Feel So Young. We talked about it.
20 chocolates in this case here.
Classic milk chocolate. You make me feel so young. It's Christmas.
That's like the very first one almost to me.
Okay, we didn't talk about It Happened in Monterey.
Oh, that's a good one too. I like that one.
Great jazzy vibe, bass, piano, strings. That has a
In
nice...
Mexico.
Yeah.
Monterrey.
Yeah.
Do you think you ever went to Mexico?
Yeah.
In old Mexico,
In
not New Mexico.
old Monterey. Yeah, totally. The standout lyric for me in that was, my indiscreet heart longs for the sweetheart that I left in old Monterey. Yeah, just that.
It's like
lyrics, man.
just like different ladies that he fell in love with in different places.
Yeah. So fun. So good. Chocolate liqueur.
Oh, I would devour that.
Old Monterey.
That sounds really good.
Oh, Look at Me Now. This one is a mood. I'm not the guy. Da, 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 da.
I think that's like I don't know what you said, but I think that comes to me like a dark chocolate with like, I don't know.
Oh, I felt like maybe so. I said milk chocolate caramel, but you could do a dark chocolate caramel.
Yeah.
I feel like dark chocolate narrows the scope and I love it, but then it's not as like everybody. But I think dark chocolate caramel could be good. The standout lyrics for me on this one were, I never knew the technique of kissing. I never knew the thrill I could get from your touch.
Yeah.
I never knew much. Oh, look at me now.
It's like, you taught me a lot, lady.
Look at me now.
I think we all kind of feel like that too, right?
Yeah.
Like you start off this journey of like relationships and whatever. And then now you're in this other completely different place and you're like, wow, look at me now.
Well, look at me now. Yeah.
Look at us now.
Look at us now. Night and Day, we may have talked about. This one is peanut cluster to me. It has big band feel, booms, but also like you're gliding across the dance floor. Night and day,
like
you were the one.
Like a good chunky Rocky Road ice cream.
According to NPR, within 3 months of this song's release in a Broadway show, more than 30 artists had recorded it.
Whoa.
Yeah. Standout phrase for me, whether near to me or far, it's no matter, darling, where you are, I think of you.
Yeah.
Day and night, night and day. You know, almost like a key change and then right back to it.
So crazy.
It's a hungry, yearning, burning, whatever inside of me.
So the guys who wrote this stuff, they must have made $1 million.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine?
With
all the people that well, I hope
that
so.
covered this, that wrote this. Yeah, you hope so. I mean, they deserve it.
This is Cole Porter again, I think.
Man.
And this torment won't be through.
And how old are those writers?
Oh, they're gone.
But at that time.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know?
They were in their prime.
Jeez.
Well, in the 30s. You know, and he's singing this a couple decades later.
Yeah, because he's a little bit younger than them, for sure.
Yeah. No, the other line that I grabbed here was right after that. And this torment won't be through till you let me spend my life making love to you day and night. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Night and day.
Oh, wow. So good.
Witchcraft we talked about. Yep. That one feels like a dark chocolate raspberry creme to me.
Maybe a little bit of nougat.
With a witchcraft. Yeah.
Maybe the least favorite has the nougat in it.
Yeah, it's hard for me. I was trying to pick my least favorite and I couldn't. I'm like, there are some I guess I like least, but it felt bad to go, well, I don't like this. This is my least favorite. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I think the ones that are like, I think the ones that have the least amount of trumpets and stuff, saxes are my least favorite.
Those trumpets really do a lot.
Yeah, they really do.
But some of them, I don't know. Okay, Lady is a Tramp. Standout lyric for me.
That was a good one.
She's broken, it's okay. It's California. We talked about that. I think that's an orange cream. Those
orange
are the ones, that I would like.
Because sunny California.
And sunny California. Surprising. Citrus, kind of a little burst. And also, I love those ones. If I see a box of chocolates, I'm like, oh, orange. I just want to change it up.
Really?
Yeah, not first.
Yeah.
But I'm going to come to that one at some point. Okay. All the Way. I think dark chocolate truffle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because this one's
all the way.
This one's all the way.
Yeah. Come Fly With Me, we talked about in the commercial. I think this is a coconut cluster. It's light.
Yeah.
It's breezy. You're maybe going to a tropical place.
Yeah. I think maybe this might be my least favorite.
Just because it's so commercial? Or?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe because it's so commercial. I've heard it before and I was like, oh, okay. I've heard this.
I still love it.
I mean, it's still good, but I would say coconut's good because it's like my least favorite chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Is like what is it called? The Almond Joy?
Yeah.
With coconut in it. It's my least favorite. But it's still good. I wouldn't turn it away.
Say those words, we'll take out those birds down to Acapulco Bay.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I love it.
I've heard that one. Yeah, I heard that song too because there's a show called Acapulco.
Oh.
On Apple TV Plus.
Is there?
Yeah.
Recent?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's third season, I think, should be coming out sometime next year.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah. With Eugenio Derbez. He's this famous Mexican comedian, drama. He does all sorts of stuff. He's a great actor, great guy too, activist and whatever. Really funny. So anyway, Acapulco is the song and that song's in there.
All right.
Yeah.
The next song, Put Your Dreams Away for Another Day. This to me was a surprise favorite.
Okay.
I did not think it's not big and flashy. I don't know how much is going on, but that just sultry.
It's a little more forgettable, yeah.
Put your dreams away for another day.
Yeah.
Just fun melodic choices and the modulations and I don't know.
Is Unforgettable one of his?
No, that's I was gonna say Nat King Cole.
Oh, okay.
So Put Your Dreams Away.
Sang it too, though.
Oh, I bet they all covered all these songs. I call this one Milk Rum Nougat.
Milk. I don't think I've had that before.
I was running out of chocolates. And because definitely one for my baby and one for the road was dark chocolate all the way. I'm like, this is solid dark chocolate. We get to the end and we didn't talk about Come Dance With Me, but I think this is the one that when I look at it, I can't hear it as quickly in my head.
Come Dance With Me. Yeah, me too.
Because I just think immediately Come Fly With Me.
Me too.
Man, as soon as I hear it, I'm sure I'll know it. Are you going to roll it? Oh.
Hey there, cutes, put on your dancing boots and come dance with me.
Yeah. See that? That one is like, okay, this is great.
But they're all kind of like that.
Yeah. This is just like, we need something going on the dance floor. Let's get out there. Boom. This is a solid number.
Yeah.
It's not your, hit, but
it's all feel good to me. I mean, honestly, I don't think you could ever be like, why are you listening to that garbage?
Standout lyric in this one, a surprise. Because what is dancing but making love set to music playing? Okay.
The way he pauses like that is so good.
And then we end with Nice and Easy, which right down the middle for me. Nice and Easy does it every time. Milk chocolate with almonds. I think this one just does it. It's just boom, solid song.
And these were all remastered in like 98, 99, and 2000.
Mm-hmm.
So crazy. And to think that they came out in 1953 and 1960. They really stood the test of time.
And some were written in the 30s.
And people still listen to them. People are still listening back to these songs.
Do you think it's gonna carry on to our kids?
I think so. I mean, I'd hope so. Because I think there's something to be valued in the old classics and where music has come from and evolved from the influences. Because like this dude influenced so many things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would hope so.
I would hope so too. Yeah, I really love this. I really love coming back to it.
I mean, Frank Sinatra himself on Spotify has 17.3 million monthly listeners.
Okay, I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I'm definitely tuning in.
Crazy.
Well, so what do you think of this?
I liked it, man. It was really cool. When you texted me and said like, this is the album you want to listen to, I was like, all right, bring it on. This is cool. I almost felt ready for it. I think the weather also got me in the mood for it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish the weather would stay the way it is right now. The past couple of days, it's been perfect.
This is my favorite.
It's so good. And then like the music is so optimistic.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
Yeah.
And like I said, it like definitely takes you away from like whatever's going on in your life.
Like a little mini vacation.
A little mini vacation. And especially if you have a significant other, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So sorry if you don't.
Don't be out there making love sets of music.
Yeah.
Playing. Yeah, I love this too. Even on the revisit.
They're not all witches.
No, they're not. Let's hope not. Yeah, every time I come back to this album, I just really, really enjoy it.
This particular album. Are there any other albums you would recommend?
His repertoire. I mean, I would almost go to whatever Spotify or Apple Music and stuff.
The most listened to number one track of Frank Sinatra is Something Stupid. That's what it's called.
I don't know that one.
It's got 340 million listeners.
It's just the mood that we're in as a society.
It's been listened to 340 million times. Second most famous one or second listened to is Fly Me to the Moon.
Yeah. Oh, such a good song.
Yeah. What is it? 672 million listeners.
I know we're talking about Frank here, but there's actually a Willie Nelson version of Fly Me to the Moon. That's pretty good.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Unexpectedly
Is it
good.
way more lazier?
No. It's like right what it needs to be.
Wow.
Yeah. It's really good. Yeah. So I love this. I say 100% this holds up.
I think it does too. Yeah. I think it's going to hold up because it's a really like classic genre of music.
Yeah.
Jazz is never going to go out of style. Right?
I hope not.
Yeah. I mean, you've got disco went out of style.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's one of those that's going to be around for a long time.
And my kids, they weren't like, let's listen to more Frank, but they weren't like, let's not listen to Frank. It was just great. It was just good.
You can turn it off and go to something else, and it's like, okay, cool, great.
Yeah.
It wasn't like to be fairly honest, it wasn't like Creed, where I'm like,
no.
I can turn this off now.
Yeah, they're like in a lane, but it's like it gets a little tiring after a bit. Yeah. Where this is just...
I was curious to see if you looked up the keys these songs are all in.
I almost did, but I could tell that there was a more variety, which I liked better. Because I was thinking, okay, there's a lot of similar feeling things here, but then you would hear a key change or a modulation or a different like tempo or vibe, and it's different enough for me that it didn't make me go, are these right the same? Because it was different.
Yeah. Oh, so good. No, I would go back to this and... maybe explore a lot more of his stuff.
Yeah,
sure.
I highly recommend anybody do that. I would surely say this album is a great one. If you need a place to start with Frank Sinatra, look up Classic Sinatra, his greatest performances, 1953 to 1960, and listen to that.
Yeah.
And I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, there's so many too. If you look up Frank Sinatra greatest hits or something like that, you're going to get like 40 different albums.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Because he recorded and then re-recorded and then re-recorded.
Yeah, and
there's
remastered.
Live albums, live from Vegas, live.
Crazy.
They're all over the place.
He made a ton of money.
Yep.
Good on you, old Blue Eyes.
Good job, Frank. All right, before we end today, let's close the loop.
It's like a snake eating its own tail.
So episode 10, we talked about Alice in Wonderland, 1985. You remember that?
Oh my gosh. I think it's burnt into my mind.
I love that episode so much.
So
I listened back to it just, when we were doing editing and then afterwards just to make sure everything was okay. And then I just listened to the whole thing because this is so funny to me.
Oh my gosh.
Well, anyway.
I've told people about it. I'm like, have you ever watched the Star Wars Christmas special? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, it's worse than that.
Yeah. Well, you can only rate it on part 1 so far.
Exactly.
We'll get to part 2.
We'll get to part 2.
But we talked about the Tim Burton, Johnny Depp version.
Mm-hmm.
And the Red Queen, I just want to put it out there, is played by Helena Bonham Carter.
Okay.
We never said her name.
Yeah.
Everybody knew it, but we just didn't say it off of their heads. She did a fantastic job.
Yeah, you know her face.
They also did a version of Alice Through the Looking Glass that came out in 2016, and that's their part 2. And again, I've never seen that one, so I don't know how much it relates to the story that we're going to watch, which you guessed right, by the way, was put out on CBS.
Wow.
I can't remember how that came up in the whole thing.
Yeah.
But we were talking about adaptations of Alice, and if there are any other ones in the works or have been.
Yeah.
Okay, get ready for this. There have been or will be 41 films 7 direct-to-film adaptations, including, by the way, Mickey's Adventures in Wonderland. So there is one.
Dang.
And Mickey's Adventures in Wonderland was also put later on TV. There are 38 TV versions of Alice.
Jeez.
And these are around the world. Some are in the UK. There's
That's
one like
crazy.
in France here. They're in the Czech Republic.
Oh my gosh.
But all Alice in Wonderland, Alice in Wonderland, Alice Wonderland in Paris, Alice or the Last Escapade, Alice Through the Looking Glass, which we looked at, Dream Child, Alice Underground.
This isn't like, how do you not get tired of just remaking this thing?
2009, Malice in Wonderland, Alice Through the Looking Glass, Alice and the Land That Wonders, Come Away in 2020, Alice dos Anjos,
All right. So what?
Alice in the Backlands. Is it Spanish? Is it Brazil? Portuguese?
Dos Anjos. I don't even know, dude.
Alice
might be
no
Portuguese.
Mundo da Internet.
Dude, okay. So anybody out there listening who's thinking, I could remake Alice in Wonderland, don't. Just stop.
Well, you could, because this year, The Disembodied Adventures of Alice came out in Ireland. And upcoming live action film in the UK, Alice Through the Looking Glass 2024.
So crazy.
And Get Lost, a live action film in the United States, is coming. I don't know when, but it's directed by Daniela Amavia.
That's insane. People have not had enough yet.
We still can't get enough of her.
That's so crazy.
Off with her head already.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how many times you have to remake it before you're done. I guess if it's a story, you got to just keep telling us. I don't know. Got to pass down the memory of Alice in Wonderland to the next
We
generation.
want to share it with our kids or
Oh
something.
my gosh, it's so weird.
I don't even know. So this week, though, at our household, we are fully caught up on Rings of Power.
Yeah, same.
And then we are into, we're going to be watching it live. Are you enjoying it? Are you watching it on your own?
I'm watching on my own, yeah.
Are you
I'm
liking
enjoying it? Yeah.
I can't stand with the internet vitriol about this. People are so mad.
I don't even look into that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think when I engage with stuff like this, I'm not usually engaging with it critically.
Yeah.
It's more about feel for me and stuff. And then, I don't know, I guess I could be swayed if it's like, oh, this is terrible or whatever. But the quality has been so good production wise.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying the story and I'm not.
What did you think of when they find the halflings or whatever living in the desert?
The caves and stuff.
Caves? Yeah.
And you find that they're actually from the same original clan and that they're all trying to basically get to the Shire.
Basically, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was fine.
Well, what did you think of the set design for that? I think that was not as
The cave
impactful.
stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't as impactful or as good as what you've seen from the original Lord of the Rings, or even
Oh, sure.
the set seemed smaller or seemed cheaper for them.
I agree with you.
For the show, it seemed cheaper. It wasn't
Yeah.
like it was terrible, but it definitely had a different feel
Yeah.
that I feel like maybe the budget wasn't there all the way to make that seem a little bit better or bigger, I guess you
Right.
can say, or quality. It seemed to me like that was filmed in a set.
Yeah, it did feel like that.
And that was the only down part for me on that whole storyline, that
Yeah.
whole thing. Other than that, everything else has just been, they had to fight those,
The Barrow-wits.
yeah, whatever those are,
Yeah, they're in the book. They're in Lord of the Rings.
ghosts or whatever.
Yeah.
That looked really, really good.
In the Lord of the Rings, the hobbits go through the Barrow Downs. Very similar encounter. It seems like they pulled it. And Tom Bombadil is the one who saves them.
Oh.
Yeah. And my kids were like, that was pretty scary. We were watching this. And so they were like, what is this? What's going on? I was trying to explain to them from the book because we had read it during COVID, or at least a chunk of it. And the only part that they remembered is because after that, Tom Bombadil saves them, and then they go dancing naked through the fields or something. And is this the guy that they were dancing naked? I'm like, yes, I had forgotten. Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's he's a really strange, fun character. It was, that's a problem people have of where they inserted him. But honestly, I'm just enjoying that's fun. They put Tom Bombadil in here,
But that's before The Hobbit.
this
Right?
is.
Yeah,
that we're
yeah.
watching.
So that could still happen.
Oh, totally. Yeah,
You know?
he could have just gone to the other location and whatever.
Yeah.
I just think it's fun to see all this stuff come together. I think it's fun to see Sauron become take that whole arc of Anatar and all that stuff. We have to get into it, but I'm enjoying it.
Is Tom going to give Gandalf his name?
Well, they already gave him his name.
No, but Gandalf, the name Gandalf.
No, she already said the little hobbit, or somebody said you're a grand elf, and they really emphasized it, and I think that's where it's coming from.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
I'm guessing because I nudged whoever was next to me. I'm like, oh, grand elf, Gandalf. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I bet that's what it is.
Dang.
You know,
I didn't catch that, but yeah, you're right. That definitely sounds like that could be it. But he said something about like you don't give a person their name; they just know it when they hear it.
Mm-hmm.
So he hasn't heard it yet. I don't know.
I don't know either. And he goes by a couple different names in Middle Earth. Mithrandir, Gandalf. I'm sure there are others.
Eastar.
He's one of the Eastar.
He's one of the Eastar. Really interesting. I like it. I haven't paid attention or looked up what people are saying about it and stuff like that.
Stay off it.
Because I mean, I understand. Like, did you watch the Acolyte, the Star Wars Acolyte? That was terrible.
Yeah,
I didn't have to watch what people were saying about it to realize that was terrible. It was just terrible.
I wanted to watch it. And I kept wanting it to get better, and it was like, okay, this felt like I don't need to come back to it ever again.
It looked really cheap. Mm-hmm. They kind of didn't. It was almost as if somebody started making a sci-fi space show.
It was like, let's just brand this as Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, wait, let's take the elements of this, but then not follow any of the rules established by the rest of the universe. Yeah. It's like, wait, hold on. You can't. You're totally like, let's call this something else because you can't contradict. If you are going to contradict these things, you need to explain why.
Yeah. And I'm super willing. Like, I don't come in super critical or anything. I'm okay. Take this a different way. We'll see how it goes. But it didn't even grab me. It was just whatever. Oh. Well, everybody, let us know. Let us know what you think, whether it's about Star Wars, Rings of Power, or especially about Frank Sinatra.
Yes.
I would love to hear what other people are thinking about this and if they listen to it and then what they think after.
For sure.
It's really good.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So you can also reach us always at wdyt.show. All the links are there. You can find us on Apple, on Spotify, on YouTube. So pick your favorite platform of the week and subscribe and share it. And then find a new one and do that too.
Yep. Give us likes, subscribe, and share.
That's the best way. Yeah. That's the best way to spread the word about the podcast is tell somebody about it.
Yeah. And just enjoy.
Yeah. And you can know that next week, we are going to be coming back to our next test kitchen.
I'm excited for this.
Yes. We have a couple foods prepared already, and it's going to be a really good one, and I'm already hungry. So very ready for this. But please, in the meantime, listen to this episode. Obviously, you're here. You listen to it. Share it with somebody. Give us a 5-star rating if you can. And thank you, Josue, for today. This was a fun conversation. Awesome. I'm glad I got to introduce you to Frank.
Yeah, this is really great.
That was a really good combo.
Good old blue eyes.
Good old blue eyes. All right, we'll talk to you next time.
All right, everybody.
Meow, baby.
Meow, baby. Meow, baby. Meow, baby.